Well, automakers have been working on driverless cars for some time, but self-driving cars could be the future of policing, too. At least that's what Ford is looking into. The U.S. government is now reviewing a patent by the automaker to create autonomous police cars. Now, the idea is to use artificial intelligence to identify drivers breaking the law by scanning license plates, tapping into surveillance cameras, and wirelessly accessing government records. Even your own car could rat you out with planned vehicle-to-vehicle communications. And for some, it sounds like risky business. And to talk more about this, I'm joined now by cybersecurity expert Danny Pahar. Danny, nice to see you as always. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, first of all, let's just talk about police cars in general here. If they do become AI or autonomous, what sort of things could they be doing? What could they be monitoring about us?
So we've seen forms of this already on traffic light cameras, right? The police aren't there. You pass a traffic light, you run a red light, and it gives you a ticket, right? You're going to see more things like that, more automated responses, as in looking for us, driving to spots where they can stay hidden and where no police officer is in the actual car, but they're videotaping you, they're taking your picture and going after your records.
All right, so would this be like a rolling red light camera, basically, then?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it could be a version of that, absolutely.
Yeah. What are the dangers associated with this when it comes to our personal security?
So I would say, well, the dangers associated with police cars going down this route is very similar to the dangers going with driverless cars in general, right? So anytime that we have anything connected to the internet that has an on or off switch, whether it be your coffee machine, whether it be your car or a police car, it is vulnerable to hackers. And this is something that the auto industry is aware of. The General Motors CEO has been quoted as saying that cyber incidences are a concern to all automakers across the world because it is a question of public safety.
Okay, have we seen examples of that? Has there been any major cyber attacks on autonomous vehicles?
So, excellent question. Yes and no. So there was 2 white hat hackers that were able to hack into a car remotely and disable the transmission while it was on the highway, of all places. Now, the reason why I say yes and no is that those were white hat hackers, meaning that they were doing this not maliciously. It wasn't an attack. It was part of a controlled research experiment. So there hasn't been a malicious attack. But if you consider the 90s, when there was all those .com companies popping up and they had all those online shopping solutions for their websites, you didn't really hear about hacks back then. It wasn't until online shopping became more commonplace, and that's the fear with driverless cars.
Okay, so what is the major challenge or concern when it comes to vehicles and their cybersecurity?
So the big challenge here is that cars simply have so many electronic components, also referred to as electronic control units. ECUs. So the fear is a hacker can get in and they can crack one of your less serious ECUs, like a car's Bluetooth or your car's infotainment system. And once they're in there, they can then crack something much more serious, like your brakes or your engine. Then you've got some real trouble. You combine that with the fact that cars can have 100 ECUs, cop cars even more, representing over 100 million lines of code, and that is so much to protect. That gets very complicated.
All right, so moving forward, I know in years past, vehicle manufacturers, they've really been working hard at developing security for your car so it can't be stolen. Now are we more concerned about the security for the information that's inside your car?
For the information and for the ability to stop somebody from taking control of your actual car and those serious ECUs like your brakes or your engine. Absolutely, that's what you're going to see. And you're also going to see, my prediction is you're going to see the government getting involved and some strict regulation with the type of cybersecurity that comes out with these driverless cars.
Yeah, just finally, Danny, to bring this conversation full circle, go back to the police cars, these autonomous police cars or AI police cars into the future. Certainly we can save money, I guess, when it comes to labor costs. We don't need as many actual police officers on the streets here. But do you think that governments are going to move towards that with some of the other dangers we've talked about?
Absolutely. That is a great question. Absolutely. I believe that is where we are going. Yes, there's a lot of challenges, but anytime we've ever taken some sort of massive technical step in the right direction, there's always been challenges, bumps and bruises and heartaches, but make no mistake, that's where we're headed.
All right. Cybersecurity expert Danny Pahar. Danny, great to see you as always. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, Jeff.